Welcome back to the Q&A episode number 2. I don't know, episode 10 of the Puzhitsky podcast. Like I said, another Q&A episode. Let's get down to it. You guys sent in some more questions, and I will answer them today in the comfort of my noisy downtown Toronto living area. I got to figure out how to... I know how to edit the sound out, the background noise. There's like 5 construction sites right outside my window, elevators going up and down. It's annoying. You guys probably can't even hear it that much, but whenever I listen back to any audio, I don't want to say OCD because I don't think I have OCD, but I just fucking can't get my mind off of the background noise. It's annoying. All right, let's get down to the question. So first question sent in by Rohan. Favorite NHL team? Born and raised in Toronto. I'm a Toronto boy, not a Toronto man's. I'm not Jamaican. The Leafs, Toronto Maple Leafs. I have to. Even though they've tortured me since I was young, by not winning anything at all and breaking my heart since I was a little boy and giving me, years of trauma, it's fine, whatever. I still like them. I have the memories of going to the Scotiabank Arena, what used to be Air Canada Centre for you OGs out there, with my dad watching the games, Matt Sundin. I thought we had the same name, even though later I figured out that my name is Matt, M-A-T-T, and his name is Mats with an S, like a plural Mats, which is really weird, but fucking Swedish. I don't know. Yeah, so Toronto Maple Leafs for sure. It's funny, they're sponsored by the Dairy Farmers of Ontario, whatever. You probably know them by the slogan, Got Milk. I don't think they drink the milk they're sponsored by because they don't have a fucking backbone, all right? No defense, no fucking... no physicality, right? Every single year we get into the playoffs and we get absolutely rammed physically by every single team. We pay millions of dollars for these skilled players. We have a stacked lineup. We're deep, but we have no physical presence, right? Every year, a couple games go by in the first round of the playoffs. Half of our fucking half of our forwards are in the hospital watching the game from their hospital beds, drinking hospital milk because they got rammed. I don't know, whatever. I guess maybe this will be our year. That's what I say every year, so I'm like jaded by now. We got Ryan Reeves. He's gonna be our physical presence out there, right? I don't know. It's sad. It's honestly a sad thing, but whatever. At least I'm not a Canadiens fan. Or Ottawa for that matter. I think it's a conspiracy. Like the conspiracy is that the NHL, like of all the leagues out there, NBA, NFL, NHL is like the biggest joke in terms of how much the players get paid and all of their sponsorship deals and the way that they handle the TV deals and stuff. It's horrible, and the players don't get money. It's like absolute bureaucracy, all the guys in suits getting paid, especially in Toronto. They have a big issue like filling up the Scotiabank Arena with actual fans and not just suits, guys that just finished their job on Bay Street. They're the financial boys just like lining the entire arena with suits, guys that couldn't care less about the game. They're just out there having $14 beers with their business partners. That's the way it is. I don't know how they're going to change it, but I think the NHL could do a better job. I was going somewhere with that rant. I don't have OCD, but I do have ADHD. I forgot where I was going. I think I was going to say something about the Leafs and suits and I don't remember. Welcome to my ADHD brain. Oh yeah, last Q&A episode was sponsored by Starbucks. This time it's sponsored by McCafe. They have the Monopoly thing back where you like get a large fry or a medium coffee and you get these Monopoly raffle Peele things. So they're appealing to the gambler in all of us, or the board game enthusiast. But I think it's mostly, it's like a scratch off ticket basically. It's like an excuse not to go buy the one for $3 at the convenience store. I've actually won a burger off of that, so I'm not complaining. And I do actually have whenever I get the little tickets, I put it in the app just because I like to keep track. Who knows? What if I do win a Ryobi snowblower? You know? That might be very useful in my 24th floor apartment that I pay maintenance for anyways. Why not have a snowblower in my fucking tiny bachelor apartment taking up half the fucking living room? You know, it's free. Why not? All right. So, yeah, the Leafs are my favorite team. Jesus Christ, I got sidetracked. I got to work on that. Next question, sent in by Karen. Again, I don't know if this is the same Karen that keeps sending questions from last time or a different Karen, but thank you, Karen. I don't know if there are a lot of Karens out there. When is the last time? I actually want to see the hospital records. I want to see a bar graph by year, how many people have been named Karen. I guarantee you, since like 2015, that number has dropped substantially to about zero. The only people that are naming their kids Karen are probably people that are having kids in their 60s and that are completely not on the internet and are oblivious to what's going on out there. Because at this point, if you name your kid Karen on purpose, knowing the memes associated with Karen, you are a bad parent. You should be put into jail, and your kids should be taken away, put into a foster home until they are adopted by a better family. Because if you name your kids Karen on purpose in 2023, what are you doing? I just destroyed your name. I'm sorry, Karen. I'm sure you're older, so, you know, your parents love you. They just, you know, unfortunate circumstances. But what's your cat's name? My cat's name is Whiskey. I'm not an alcoholic. I don't think I'm an alcoholic. And it's not necessarily, it's cool that it's whiskey, the drink, but it's because he has one white whisker, and it sounds like cats have whiskers. I don't know, it just made sense. It's a cat name. I feel it's weird when people name their pets human names, you know? Like if I had a dog named Jim, I don't think anybody wants to have a dog named Jim or a cat named like Anthony. I think that's really weird. Like, oh, what's your name? Anthony. Come here, Anthony. You want some pets, Anthony? That's just like a weird situation to have there. So yeah, I have a normal cat. Whiskey is his name, and I named him that because that is a cute little pet name that is appropriate. So, all right, let me check off that box. All right, here's a good question sent in by Madison Cassidy, shout out. Fellow Toronto comedian, lovely guy. Which is better, Chappelle Show or Key and Peele? So this is a really good question. If you guys don't know what these are, Key and Peele is a sketch show that aired on Comedy Central quite recently. It's more of a modern show, Chappelle Show. The creator being Dave Chappelle, one of the most well-known stand-up comics of all time. He had a sketch show that was, due to some financial troubles between him and the network, was canceled, and then, he disappeared for a while and then came back better than ever, blah, blah, blah. All the drama there, but it was his sketch show that was very good. It had, I don't know how many seasons it had, but it had some amazing sketches in it. And because I'm of the younger generation, I was born in 99. I don't know what that makes me, Gen fucking whatever. I would say Key and Peele because that's what I grew up on basically, and it kind of, I was just exposed to it more. I didn't really even know about the Chappelle Show until later in life when I got into stand-up comedy, and I was like, oh, like this guy Chappelle, I know Chappelle, he has a sketch show. These are really good sketches. I was even just recently, I was watching, we hate on like TikTok and YouTube shorts and shit, but I feel like I've seen a lot of cool stuff that I wouldn't have seen otherwise. if it wasn't for these short form video platforms. Like I just saw the skit. There's like the Sesame Street skit that Chappelle did. The dude was called Stinky. It's like the little thing that comes out of the garbage can. And he's like, fucking, like, I'm out here, I got a syringe in my head. He's talking to kids about life instead of being like the little cookie monster that comes out of the garbage can and goes like sing songs. He's like spitting facts. It was really funny. So just by virtue of being younger and being exposed more to Key and Peele, I am more of a fan of Key and Peele as a sketch show itself. But I actually, the guys that are involved, the two guys that are the main characters in most of the sketches, I don't know them or know their stand-up comedy that well at all. Obviously, I've seen all of Chappelle's specials, and I'm a huge fan of him, and I've seen some of the skits. So I should probably watch all of the Chappelle show skits. I think that would be a worthwhile investment of my time, and then get back to you on that. For now, I'm going to go with Key and Peele just because I've actually seen most of the skits and I'm more of a fan. But yeah, I think that's just because of my age, to be honest with you, not necessarily in terms of quality. I think that the Chappelle show, from what I've seen, and also considering the time, because it was one of the first of its kind. I don't know if there were many sketch shows other than like SNL before then. Or they definitely weren't as popular as they are now with YouTube and everything. But it was ahead of its time, very funny, and I'm going to watch more of it. So, yeah. For now, Key and Peele. All right, check that off. What's next? What's your favorite country in the EU? Sent in by NM_sketching. I mean, of all the countries I've visited, God, what have I visited? Most, off the top of my head, Spain. That might be recency bias. I went there last year with a buddy of mine. It was really fun. We went to Barcelona, and we went to this little beach town called Tossa de Mar. It was beautiful. That's where for those of you who know those Americans in Europe skits, that's where they were born. So the story behind the Americans in Europe skits is that we were on a walk in our first night in this beach town called Tossa de Mar, and we were just on a walk, and we stumbled upon this like beautiful cliffside, and to my buddy, I'm like, here, film me, and he's like, what is this, one of those stupid like Instagram stories that you're gonna post? And then I just go, oh, this would be a great place for a 6-lane highway, and that's how it was born. Literally, just I had the idea, the skit popped off, and the rest is history. So that's cool. But yeah, Spain was awesome. I just visited him again in Amsterdam last month, exactly a month ago, basically in September. And that was awesome. Europe overall is amazing. I find that the lifestyle is so different. Everybody's more relaxed, right? Like less hustle and bustle, more, the work-life balance is a thing, right? I feel like in North America, Canada, US, people live to work, whereas in Europe, people work to live. That's the vibe I get. I see people just, on a Wednesday morning on the boardwalk in Amsterdam by the main canal there, just like enjoying breakfast, looking at the sunrise, having a smoke, just chilling. Whereas I don't feel like I see as much of that here, just people having, I don't know. It might be me as a North American romanticizing what I'm seeing in Europe, or there might be something to it. You let me know if I'm right or wrong. That's what I feel. But like of all the places I've been, it's pretty cool. Like other places I've been, like London, Ireland. London is too expensive. Ireland is cool, but not much going on. I went to like Loch Ness. That was something. I don't even know if that's in Ireland. Is that in Scotland? I don't see. This is my my American ignorance, Canadian ignorance is showing. But yeah. But growing up in North America, it's cool visiting Europe and seeing like how old everything is. Like you walk down the street and just casually you see a house that's like 600 years old and somebody just living in there. Like, yeah, this is what it is. Whereas here, if there's a house older than 5 years, it's considered a historical landmark. So the rich history, museums, and if you're into that kind of stuff, it's pretty cool. But so far, my favorite would be probably Spain. But again, I've only been there for like a couple weeks, so not much to go off of. Hopefully I visited, I really want to go to like Italy. I want to go to Croatia. I want to go to France. I'm a big like World War II history buff. So when I was in Amsterdam last month with my buddy, you don't realize how small Europe actually is compared to North America. Maybe that's why their transit is so good, because everything's kind of just closer and more compact. But whereas, yeah, like in North America, everything's kind of rural, right? Like highways leading to rural areas and whatnot. But so I was in Amsterdam, and within like an hour train ride or an hour or two train ride of Amsterdam, I can go to like Munich, Brussels, or like Dunkirk. I just named 3 places in 3 different countries. We have Germany, Belgium, and France, which is unreal. Open borders too. You're never going to see that in America, that's for sure. Yeah, so it's a completely different lifestyle, which is cool. All right, next question. How many languages can you speak fluently? Oh my God, this name is going to be hard to pronounce. And Luisk. I don't know these Instagram usernames. They're usually not even the real names, but it's and Luisk. I speak 3, Russian, English, and French. I'm learning some more. I'm learning how to speak the language of a woman. Yeah. Having been living with one now for a little bit and dating one, sometimes women speak their own language. Like you'll come home and you'll see that your girlfriend has a long face, and you'll be like, babe, what's going on? She'll be like, nothing, I'm fine. And she says nothing, I'm fine, but she doesn't really mean that. And you have to know that as a good partner. If she said, oh, babe, it's, I just had a long day, I'm tired, I'm going to take a nap. If she explains it a little bit, gives a little context, she's probably actually fine. But if she says nothing, I'm okay, that's your cue to say, oh, I know you're not okay. Let's get to the bottom of this. But sometimes I'm just like, oh, you just said you're fine, so I'm going to take your word for it. And I get on with my day. And then she gets even more mad. And that leads to a whole bag of troubles. So you really have to learn how to communicate properly with a woman. I would say I would separate that from English and categorize that into its own language. So 3.5, getting closer to 4. One day it'll be 4. All right. I don't know if they have Duolingo for how to speak the language of a woman. They should. You can do like daily quizzes. Like, where do you want to eat? What does that mean? I don't know. Ding. Okay. What's next? I'm tired of... All right. This one's sent in by Balone. I think most of these are not your actual names. They're just your Instagram handles, but whatever. I'm tired of being good at almost everything. How do I get good at one thing? Oh my God, what a problem to have. You're good at almost everything. I wish I was good at even one thing remotely. I have the opposite problem. I've tried a lot of things in my life, and I've enjoyed them a lot to the point that I've either engulfed myself in them or practiced them a lot or just been obsessed with them, and I've never actually gotten good at any of these things. So I guess if we can just combine our problems into one solution, you're good at everything, I'm good at nothing. Together we can be each good at one thing that we so choose to be. That would be amazing. Realistically though, I think the one thing you should get good at is maybe seeking therapy, because if you think you're good at everything, you're probably not the case. Probably. Unless you're... I haven't seen your name in the newspapers, like man wins Olympic gold medal and swimming followed by fastest marathon time recorded. If that would be somebody that's good at everything, would be something I feel like people would know, if you were really good at everything. So maybe you're spreading yourself too thin, your eggs are spread over too many baskets. You know, if you only have 10 eggs and that's your life, right? You put one egg towards taking care of your loved ones and your family, and then your mental health, and then your physical health. And then you have some eggs left over to choose a pursuit, you know, maybe a professional one, maybe an athletic one, maybe a hobby, right? And you have to put your eggs in a basket of your choosing and get good at that thing. I feel like maybe you're putting them in too many baskets. Like, I'm going to try chess, swimming, jiu-jitsu, and fucking cycling. No, maybe choose one of those things, get really good at that one thing, and that'll be your thing. So I feel like the answer to your question is you're spreading yourself too thin. Maybe choose something, focus on it, and get really good at. If you're good at everything, get really good at one thing. No joke. Actually, I think that was my best answer. That was actually a pretty solid answer. I'm proud of myself. All right. Yeah, we're at 22 minutes. I'm not gonna keep this going much longer. We'll do one more question. I thought this one was funny. Were you my second year chemistry TA? Sent in by Jonathan. Very, very possible. As most of you probably won't know, I do have a master's degree in synthetic organic chemistry, and as a part of that degree, I did TA undergrad chemistry for a couple of years very recently. Honestly, I just used it as stage time. I was in a lab doing like the pre-lab talk, and you know, as a comedian, 20 people looking at you when you have their attention, that's just like prime fucking. I used it to workshop some of my bits, you know, I also, don't ask me when I meet people from my science chemistry circle and they find out I'm a comedian, they're like, oh, do you have any science jokes? No, I don't. All right. Nothing that you haven't seen on Reddit already. I'm not going to spend my time coming up with very niche science jokes that nobody is going to understand. All right. I'm going to talk about life, general things, not fucking physical chemistry. Okay. So, yeah, I probably was your second year chemistry TA. I hope I did a good job. I think I was a good TA, you know, I knew my stuff. I was fun. I was nice. Yeah. You know, if you had me as a TA, feel free to leave me a review. Let me know. Was I a good teacher? Did I teach you the chemistry to your liking? But don't blame your shitty midterm marks on me. That was the worst thing about being a TA was getting emails flooded, being after every midterm, getting a bunch of emails from students just begging for marks or this or that. Like, yo, I'm not even in charge of this, first of all. Second of all, like, no, man. Like, it's fine. You got one question wrong. It's 1% of your midterm. That's worth like 3% of your grade. You're going to survive, okay? I don't think this is worth bickering for marks. I was never that guy, you know what I mean? But yeah, I was probably your chemistry TA. Okay, so that's been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7-ish, 8 questions. Hope you enjoyed. I don't know who is going to be on my next episode. I have a few episodes saved up. We'll see which one I edit up first. But we have some good podcast episodes coming out. Thank you for listening. Please subscribe, rate the podcast on Spotify. Again, leave a comment. Let me know how I can do better. And I will catch you next time. Peace.